Yo, what's up, guys? Just got home. I just got off of work. I took I bought another account yesterday, so just for the specific purpose, so on my main account I can trade properly and follow my rules. So today I'm allowed to risk $500 a day or take 2 trades a day. So today I took 1 trade risking $500. It ended up being an L on my main account. I'm still up on that account by like $300. The reason I'm only up $300 is because I took a trade in London and didn't realize I was on the wrong account. So I lost 100 or 2 on about 200 on that accidental trade. Regardless, I bought a new account to not follow my rules with because I have a different strategy. That there's nothing wrong with the strategy and I can trade it just fine. People say don't trade 2 different strats, stick to one. If I say and believe that I can trade 2 different strats properly as long as I trade them on 2 different accounts, then that's fucking perfectly fine with me. I don't give a shit. I am fine with buying accounts and doing that with because I know what I'm doing and with the intent of doing it this way. So I'm gonna do it this way. And for anybody that says, oh, don't do that, don't worry about my journey, bro. Worry about your own journey. We all going through our own journey. Don't put too much care on watching me because I'm just another human. And obviously you should be worrying about your own journeys, but some of you probably watch me just so you can have somebody to watch and possibly learn from in some cases. But don't ever let me tell you what to do, and I will never let anybody tell me what to do. I had a pretty interesting Uber ride today, right? Because I live on the south side of Chicago. I had gotten an Uber share, so Uber driver, she picked up somebody else. Ended up being somebody that's more important. And I was talking to him and listening to their conversation, and he ended up being somebody that works with helping cancer patients and helping with trying to develop ways to help cancer and help the homeless and all, like somebody like that. And listening to their conversation, being in an Uber, just being in that environment, you know, it made me realize, like, damn, really in the fucking trenches and I gotta get the fuck out. And that shit made me realize, like, there's bigger things to life than what the fuck I've been wasting my life on all this time. I might have a little bit of money that I'm making, but I'm really still in the fucking trenches, and we finna get the fuck out of this bitch this year or next year. I don't give a fuck. I will grind my ass off to do this shit, bro. I want it.
And then for the first trade today that I took on my main account, as y'all can see, so on US 30 I took shorts off of this 1 hour imbalance right here, and since it had already ran these Asia highs over here basically multiple times and kept rejecting basically what I wanted to see at 9 o'clock right here at 8:30, 9 o'clock, I wanted to see retrace to this imbalance right here and then continue dropping, possibly to the previous day lows. NAS actually did drop to the previous day lows, but US 30 did not. And if I would have used 50 points, I would have been in and out like really fast, but I used 100 points because I didn't feel safe with 50 points. And then I barely missed TP1, so I wasn't able to break even, so it ended up going back up and stopping me out and then dropping to my TP. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. At least we still got funds with the trade for next week. I think it was yesterday actually. I bought a starter plus account with my funded futures, so I have 2 accounts, and the other one is basically so I don't have to follow my rules because I have a different strategy that I trade as well. So on that account I made 1700 on 1 trade with 10 macros on NAS, and the trade I took on NAS was definitely a counter trend trade, but I trusted it. I took a few L's trying to counter trend trade, which is not the best thing you can do, but it's alright. I made $1,700 back, but we're only $400 up on the account. This was the trade. It was I waited till a bunch of lows got swept and everything, like all these lows got swept, and then it tapped into this fair value gap over here, this 15-minute fair value gap. And once it tapped into that 15-minute fair value gap, I came down to the 1-minute chart and I took the trade off the break of the candle, basically right there. I had an alert, and as soon as it tapped I entered. I set my stop at the lows right here, and I just held to these highs right here, but I'm pretty sure that it was a 3-minute fair value gap that I waited for it to get tapped into, and that was my take profit. Yeah, so I just waited for this I got out like right before it tapped the 3-minute fair value gap right here. Not that hard. Trading isn't that hard. It's only as hard as we make it. So
today I read, I'm not really sure how you say it. It's like Bakak, some shit like that. 1 through 3, and then I read Zephaniah 1 and 2. And the notes that I got is it talks about how people who love violence and disrespects leaders and they laugh at with pride, taking whatever they want whenever they want. It says that these people will pass like the dust of the earth, and they will be guilty since their God was their own strength. They relied on themselves and looked at themselves as a god. And people who care more about physical possessions and boast that their physical possessions made them rich, whatever that is, like, and usually these people trust themselves and the things they use to achieve success more than they trust God. The righteous live with faithfulness in God. You also shouldn't be arrogant or greedy because you will never be satisfied and you will be punished for this. And people who make a lot of money, but they know that the money is dishonest, they try and equip themselves with big houses, good security, heavy artillery, thinking that they're safe. But because the fact that they made their money dishonestly, none of these things will save them from the wrath and anger of God, and they will be judged accordingly. And that they will be judged accordingly, and everything they worked for will have been in vain. Nations that build wealth from murder and taking advantage of other nations will fall. People who boast and brag, that you shouldn't boast and brag, because when you do this, you're looking at other people and you're judging them, and you will be judged the same way when God looks at you. So when you boast and brag, you'll be brought down to where they are the people you're bragging to, and at some point they'll be in your position boasting towards you and laughing at you. And the only God you should have is our one true God, our Lord God, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the one true God. And it says that people who make possessions, false idols, they draw graven images, and they have all these false images that look pretty nice because they're made out of gold and silver and diamonds or whatever, that none of these things have life, and none of these things can speak to you. And the only way that you can speak to the Lord, because He is the one true God, is to sit in silence before Him in His holy temple. And I'm pretty sure that the holy temple is just talking about, the holy temple in the Bible is considered to be our body. Us, you're the holy temple. I'm the holy temple. We all are the holy temple. The body is the gift and it is the temple. So treat it with respect. And you should go to Him in silence in His holy temple with respect, in the form of meditation and prayer in your own mind. And obviously He's God, so He controls everything and He's everlasting, so He'll never fail you. And He saves His chosen people and anointed ones and will punish the wicked. And also it talks about that you should fear God's anger, but you should also find joy and salvation and hope in the Lord as well, like a fatherly love almost. It also says that people who say they follow God, but they follow other things, they say they follow God, but they follow other traditions and religions as well, like paganism or whatever else there is out there, I don't know. But you say you follow God, then you're just lying. When God returns, the true righteous people will go with Him and everybody else will be punished accordingly. And it says that when we get comfortable in our sin, we tend to start thinking that God will do nothing to us, whether it's good or bad, that He won't punish us goodly or badly. We will be punished at the right time accordingly if we keep doing this and thinking that we're better than God. It says that money doesn't solve all of life's problems, that there's still many more problems in life that money can't solve, and money also cannot hide you or save you from the wrath of God. So whether you're rich or poor, always continue to keep the Lord in your life. And you should avoid sin and violence to make sure that He doesn't punish the land and the entire nation. Everybody as a whole, every single individual person should be righteous, godly, honest, and seeking the Lord. And then it says that if everybody gathers themselves and repents, that He will turn away His anger
so that we don't have to experience it since we turned away from our sinful ways. And those that are God's people will be returned to prosperity and become abundant again. So be visited with God's kindness. It says that he will destroy basically every other god, and every other nation will bow down and worship the one true God, because they will see that he is the one true God who punished every other god, also punished the prideful. It says that great nations or great cities that think that they're untouchable and that they're safe and that they're the strongest in the world and they cannot be harmed, and then they also boast and brag about it, they will be destroyed, brought down, and then they will be laughed at by the other nations.